I've seen countless comments on countless videos all saying the same thing. This watch is too thick. It's too big. So I'm making this video for those people where I'll compare this side by side with an original Black Bay 41 Heritage as well as with the Rolex Submariner. And feel free to share this with all those commenters you come across whenever the size of this watch comes up. Here are the actual dimensions of this watch. The case diameter is actually 40.5 millimeters. That's me unscrewing the crown to get the actual true width of this case. The lug to lug height comes out to 49.1 millimeters. The case thickness of 13.2 millimeters includes a sapphire crystal, so I do have to mention that if this watch had a flat sapphire crystal instead of the dome sapphire, it would actually come out to 11.8 millimeters thick. And this watch does have a lug width of 21 millimeters. Now compared to the original Black Bay 41, which is lacking the dive bezel and has a flat case back, the dimensions are quite similar. We have a case diameter of 41 millimeters, a lug to lug height of 49.7 millimeters, and case thickness of 11 millimeters. And again, take note of the flat sapphire crystal. The Heritage has a lug width of 22 millimeters. Now the Rolex Submariner comes in with the following measurements: a case diameter of 40.5 millimeters as well, a lug to lug height of 47.6 millimeters, a case thickness of 12 millimeters, and a lug width of 21 millimeters. When looking at the watches side by side, you can see that the new Monochrome has a thinner case than the Heritage 41 Black Bay, and if the dome sapphire crystal was swapped out with a flat sapphire, these would almost be matched in overall thickness. I did take a screenshot from the Deep Track YouTube channel, which is linked in the description, as it shows perfectly how the Submariner differs from the Black Bay Monochrome in full. They share a similar oyster-styled case back that protrudes out from the case, and while the Submariner has a thinner case, it also has a chunkier bezel, whereas the Monochrome has a thicker case with a thinner bezel. And here you can see that the bezels are almost at the same height, with the Tudor being higher only due to the dome sapphire glass. The dial size is what plays a large role in the appearance of how the watch wears, which is much more important than just looking at the overall dimensions. The Black Bay Heritage has a visible dial measurement from edge to edge of 34.5 millimeters with a thin polished bezel thickness of 3.2 millimeters. And when you compare that to the Monochrome, which has a visible dial measurement from edge to edge of 31 millimeters and a bezel thickness of 4.7 millimeters. Now this isn't a comprehensive comparison video when looking at the new Tudor Monochrome versus the Rolex Submariner. I think there are plenty of videos like that either out already or soon to come. But a few things that I'd point out that I like about this Tudor Monochrome over the Sub is that the minute hand actually extends all the way out to the chapter ring. The lugs are thinner and have a chamfered edge, and there are no crown guards, and I also appreciate that both the dial and the bezel are matte finished on the Tudor. This allows these small bits of high polish on the edges and sides of the case to tie in well with the 5-link Jubilee style bracelet. The Rolex has a high gloss dial and a high gloss ceramic bezel, but the only other glossy finish on the watch are the polished sides of the case. The rest is completely satin finished. Now I know that this video isn't going to push anyone from one side to the other. I mean, if you love the Submariner, nothing I say or show you will change that, but hopefully seeing these measurements and side-by-side comparisons can put to rest the idea that this watch is just quote-unquote too big. It's not, and we no longer have to pretend that it is. And I thank you for checking out my channel. Until the next one, take care.